Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, the most scrutinized topic in the Republic of Kenya for the past 3 weeks has been about the recently concluded Mbeere North by-elections. That's so, Leonard WAMUTHENDE, the candidate for the ruling party UDA, be declared the winner in the said highly contested by-election that saw the United Opposition candidate under the DP party, Newton Karish, lose to WAMUTHENDE in a close margin of about 500 votes. In the said by-election that was marred by controversy surrounded by voter rigging, voter bribery, voter intimidation, and goons takeover in the said by-election. Now, after the declaration by the Iebc, the United Opposition took the next step as required of them by the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya to file a petition to seek the nullification of the said by-election and also to stop the swearing in of WAMUTHENDE as the Member of Parliament of the Mbeere North. But their petition was not granted early enough, since WAMUTHENDE on 2nd of December, he was sworn in as the next Member of Parliament or the Member of Parliament elect of Mbeere North in the National Assembly. Now, about 5 days ago, or a few days ago, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, CJ Martha Koome, formed a panel led by Justice Richard Mwago at the Embu Highcourt to oversee or to actually listen and review the said petitions that had been filed by the said interested parties in the said case. Now, according to our report, CJ Martha Koome on December 6th designated High Court Judge Richard Mwongo to hear and determine a petition challenging the outcome of the Mbeere North parliamentary by-election. Koome designated the judge in a Gazette notice number 17623 published on Friday last week to preside over the petition at the Embu High Court. Now, I quote what in regards to the said order that was given by the CJ. She said, in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 75 of the Elections Act 2011 and Rule 6.3 of the Elections Parliamentary and County Elections, Petition Rules 2017, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya directs that the election petition whose details are given hereunder shall be heard in the election court comprising the judge listened and sitting at the court station indicated. I read the notice. Now, the move came amid the growing political pressure after the Independence Electoral Boundaries Commission, Iebc, declared WAMUTHENDE of the United Democratic Alliance Party, UDA, as the MP-elect following the said by-election. Now, WAMUTHENDE clinched the seat with 15,802 votes, narrowly beating Newton Karish of the Democratic Party, DP, who garnered 15,308 votes after a tense by-election that drew nationwide attention. Now, on December 1st, the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka accused President William Ruto and senior government officials of orchestrating state interference in both the Mbeere North and Malava by-election. During a church service in Machakos, Kalonzo alleged that police officers, local administrators, and even cabinet secretaries were deployed to influence results in favor of the UDA candidate. And I quote him.
William Ruto knows that UDA did not win in Mbeere and UDA did not win in Malava. Hiyo anajua. We have evidence kwamba yeye mwenyewe alipiga simu kwa OCS kwa kituo kimoja na kingine in Mbeere, akasema ni lazima yule mtu sijui Muthende lazima ashinde. And kama wakili Njero amesema we are going to have a very clear, strong petition.
William Ruto knows UDA did not win Mbeere North and UDA did not win Malava, he claimed. We have evidence direct interference. He himself called the OCS at one station and another in Mbeere and said it is absolutely necessary that WAMUTHENDE must win. Now, Kalonzo insisted that tallying at several polling stations was compromised, alleging officials were pressured to align results with the instructions from senior state figures. There was no voter tally. They were looking for the number that Ruto wanted, he said, adding that some voters and agents were chased away during the process. He further accused the police of working in coordination with hooligans or goons to intimidate voters and disrupt tallying. I quote, Ruto used the police. Their job was to help the hooligans. We have seen it and we are going to deal with it, he said. Now, the opposition has went ahead to vow that they will file the said petition. Now, the petition was filed and a court order, CJ Martha Koome issued a certain order on 6th of December. Now, the said order is seen as being directed to something else that is currently unfolding. The Highcourt at Embu as of today has issued far-reaching directives in a petition contesting the results of the Mbeere North National Assembly by-election, ordering the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (Iebc) to secure and preserve all election materials pending scrutiny. The petition filed by Julieta Karugi Kidhumbu and Patrick Getonga Gishon was certified as urgent by Justice Richard Mwongo on December 8, 2025, paving the way for the immediate judicial intervention. The two petitioners are challenging the declaration of Leonard WAMUTHENDE as the duly elected Member of Parliament in the highly contested by-election. In orders issued on December 9th, the court directed the Iebc to preserve a comprehensive list of electoral documents and equipment used during the by-election. This includes the Electronic Voter Identification System (KIMS kit), nomination documents, candidates registers, polling station diaries, and the crucial statutory Form 35A and Form 35B. These materials are expected to undergo strict scrutiny and possible forensic examination under the supervision of the court to determine whether the electoral process complied with constitution and legal standards. Additionally, Iebc has been given 7 days to furnish the court with WAMUTHENDE's nomination papers, his registration details, the KIMS kit candidate profile, any correspondence relating to alterations in candidate names, and the final list of all candidates cleared to contest in the by-election. This document forms part of the petitioner's argument that the process may have involved irregularities or procedural errors affecting the final outcome. However, the court declined to halt WAMUTHENDE's swearing in, noting that the ceremony had already taken place on December 2nd, 2025, before the election court was formally gazetted. Now, that is one thing you should take into consideration. Yes, the petition sought the stopping of the swearing in of WAMUTHENDE, but CJ Martha Koome actually delayed informing the said the said election court, where it was formed on 6th of he actually announced it or gazetted it on 6th of December. Yet WAMUTHENDE on 2nd of December, that is when he was sworn in. Not that CJ Martha Koome did not have the petitions. She had them. But she decided to await until WAMUTHENDE is sworn into office so that she could come and give us these rhetorics. And that is why I tell you, these people always try to find loopholes in the constitution so that they can outmaneuver or outplay us. They don't work in benefit of the people of the Republic of Kenya. They work in favor of the President of the Republic. And that is why you see we are being told that one of the requirements of the said petition was to stop the swearing in of WAMUTHENDE. But the High Court in Embu tells us they cannot actually do that because the said action has been overtaken by time because WAMUTHENDE was sworn in on 2nd of December. And the formation and the gazettement of the Electoral Court to listen to the said petition was formed on and gazetted on 6th of December 2025. Now let's go forward. The petitioners have been instructed to serve their application and the full petition on all respondents within the timeline set under Rule 10 of the elections, parliamentary and county elections. Petitions Rules 2017, the court has scheduled a pre-trial conference for January 15, 2026 at 9:30 a.m., during which parties will receive further directions on how the case will proceed. Respondents are expected to file their replies within the legally mandated period as petition moves into its next phase. One thing for sure, if not that Martha Koome, from 27th, when this by-election were conducted, and on 28th, when the results were actually announced that WAMUTHENDE won, by 30th, these petitions had already been filed. But Martha Koome did not take the matter in urgency of how it was brought to her by the petitioners. She actually relaxed until the swearing in took place. And I dare tell you that the relaxation of Martha Koome, I cannot rule out that the state had something to do with it. Now, going forward, I want to read you clearly what this court order that was issued today by Justice Richard Mwongo in Embu Highcourt says. Republic of Kenya in the High Court of Kenya at Embu County. Court name, Embu Law Court. Case number, yes. Citation, Julieta Karigi Kidhumbi and Patrick Gitonga Gishoni versus the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission and Leonard WAMUTHENDE and one others. Orders, court document. The election court gazetted by the Honorable Chief Justice pursuant to Article 165(3) of the Constitution, Section 75 of the Elections Act and Rule number 6(3) of the Elections, Parliamentary and County Elections Petition Rules via Gazette Notice 1762(3) on 5th December 2025, this matter coming up on 8th day of December 2025 for directions on the notice of motion dated 1st December 2025, filed under certification of urgency before Honorable Justice Richard Mwongo J, and upon consideration application which seeks that, number 1, this application be certified urgent and heard ex parte in the first instance. Number 2, pending the hearing and determination of this application, a temporary order to issue restraining the fourth respondent from swearing in the first respondent as the duly elected member of the National Assembly for Mbeere North as gazetted in Gazette Notice number 17611 of 1st December 2025. Number 3, pending the hearing and determination of this application, Honorable Court do issue an interim order preserving all election materials, including the electronic voter identification system (KIMS kit), nomination records, candidate register, polling station diaries, Form 35A and Form 35B used in the Mbeere North by-election. Number 4, pending the hearing and determination of this petition, this Honorable Court do issue an order preserving all election materials, including as I said, I have read that. Number 5, the Honorable Court do issue an order for scrutiny under supervision of the Court of all election materials, including the electronic voter identification system (KIMS kit), nomination records, candidate register, polling station diaries, Form 35A and Form 35B used in the Mbeere North by-election. I tell you, if this court order had been issued early, Leonard WAMUTHENDE's swearing in would have been stopped. But because they always actually delay the justice system in this republic so that it can serve their own interest, they went ahead to delay the said formation of the panel or the electoral court that was formed by Martha Koome until on 6th or 5th of December. That is when it was formed, 3 days after WAMUTHENDE had been sworn in Parliament. But now, the Iebc, which had recused itself from the said electoral malpractices that happened in Mbeere North and Malava, has been called upon by the Highcourt in Embu to actually preserve all the electoral materials that were used during the said by-election in Mbeere North so that they can be scrutinized and be reviewed by the electoral court to determine whether what was alleged by the petitioners is the truth. And I tell you, if the Embu High Court is to be fair, it is going to nullify this by-election. Right now, it has not been nullified. But I tell you, if WAMUTHENDE had not been sworn in, then WAMUTHENDE swearing in would have been stopped. But you know what? Even after swearing in, even after an MP has been sworn in as the MP-elect, they can already be recalled and they can also leave the office if the High Court finds that malpractices actually took place. If the court finds the first respondent, who is WAMUTHENDE, and the second respondent, who is Iebc, were culpable of jeopardizing the said by-election. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, it is going down, and how we pray that actually something in this republic will work in favor of the people of the Republic of Kenya, and that is the judicial system. It doesn't matter how many judges are compromised, but sometimes these judges also must actually uphold their integrity. As we saw, CJ David Maraga refused to be swayed in the year 2017, where he was even being threatened by the state to actually declare Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Ruto as the winners of the said election, but he went ahead to nullify it. We are waiting for a bombshell from Mbeere North. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on. We will keep you updated. We will continue keeping you updated. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Kenyan Daily Report. Here, we bring you nothing but the best.